being one of the greatest performers of our generation. But I never looked to her for style inspiration or even just in awe. But when it came to the Renaissance tour, not only me, not only my friends, not only my circle, but the fashion publications were talking about her. We're talking Fashion Bomb Daily was posting her all the time, and rightfully so. Vogue was posting about her now and talking about all of the looks and doing breakdowns. And she painted the town not red but silver. She shut it down. She influenced trends, and she's still kind of on that catapult of influencing trends. She really did her big one. She did it, okay? And I'm genuinely so proud of her because it's a long time coming. If I'm looking back at the House of Darion and I'm like, oh, baby, this was needed. And so seeing her break away from the same old leotards was refreshing. And, it's what was needed to bring back attention. And when it comes to this hyper digital era, attention is the name of the game. And unfortunately, when you live this whole super private lifestyle of, oh, I'm exclusive, well, then I'm not going to pay attention to you until you drop some music, because that's what I know to come to you for. That's what you've built this, chain of relationship and chain of communication between us to be as, I don't speak to you until I drop music. You don't, really engage me till I drop music. But now, without you even knowing it, I want to know more about you because your looks are just defying all odds. Okay? And it's like, why is it that fashion is able to really, you know, make people view you in a different light? Because I would say not only was it like attention, it's now also a higher sense of admiration, because bar her already being the standard of excellence when it comes to performing and work ethic, now you're becoming a new standard of excellence when it comes to being able to garner attention, which is power. And I believe the ability to pull something off that is so avant-garde, just as you see from the looks, is what makes people subconsciously think, wow, if you're able to do this, that means you're able to do anything. And then it also creates a sense of awe and wonder. It's like, wow. And, you know, in the Bible, it does say the fear of God is the beginning of all wisdom. And like, fear of God can also just be like, put, can also be translated as like, being in awe of God is, it's the beginning of, enlightenment. And it's the beginning of me seeing you as someone to revere. And yeah, she tapped into that power once she was able to finally tap into the power of personal style. And what personal style communicates is that I know myself so well that I could put on something that you would deem to not work for me, but it does. And on top of that, when your personal style is able to communicate your essence, again, it's like, wow, you know yourself and you're comfortable with yourself. You are confident. That's something that we're all looking for in life. We're looking for confident people, people that exhibit confidence in the truest sense. And when it comes to Maslow's hierarchy of needs, I believe the top one, now, there's some theory and debates about whether or not it was actually a hierarchy or not. When it comes to my research, I heard he originally actually had it as a circle. But yeah, self-actualization, if we're going off the traditional hierarchy of needs, is the highest need. And this need reflects, morality, creativity, spontaneity, acceptance, experience, purpose, meaning, and inner potential. And so when you're able to tap into the power of personal style, you are telling the world subconsciously, I am creative. I know why I'm here. I know my purpose. I know my inner meaning, and I accept myself, and I'm willing to showcase it to the entire world. And yeah, as the hierarchy of needs says, that's high. That's up there. And a lot of people want to reach that point. I think that's the whole point of life, is to reach self-actualization. And so that's where the power comes from. And on top of, being a way to garner attention, because some people can garner attention but then it doesn't move them. The fact that she was able to actually influence people to also come to the concerts, because listen, you can say, oh, I want you to come in silver and do this, but the effort to which people will do it will reflect how much of a power or hold or influence you have over them. And people came decked out. Okay. People listened, and people, they bought these extortionate tickets because maybe they were convinced by the looks. And we saw this also happen with um, the Barbie movie. Those looks, those red carpet looks, those, premiere looks, they were so amazing that everybody had to say, whoa, whether or not I even cared about this Barbie movie, it swept the nation. Everyone's now wearing pink. And so it's that same phenomenon, it's that same power of these looks are so good and it's so enticing, and the joy also that you're exuding is making me want to partake in this, crazy era that you're in. And artists are, renowned for being able to tap into this. Rihanna of her loud moment of the red, and then recently we had, the Brat Summer of the green. People want to be a part of something, and so if you can create that for others, that's power. And on top of that, when it comes to the looks, I would say the looks also reflect, her branding of being excellent and also being out of touch. Again, this avant-garde extraterrestrial vibe is something, that's not ordinary. People don't walk around in silver armor suits every day and like super glitter, but that reflects her. I'm not like everybody. I am different and I accept it. Even just looking, I believe it's this Schiaparelli gold with the hands. Oh, it was just a sight to behold. It was honestly beautiful. As a fashion enthusiast myself, I genuinely enjoyed seeing all of these looks, and I'm so glad we got to experience this. And so, yeah, following on from the success of the Renaissance tour, I think she realized, oh, this extraterrestrial vibe is my thing. Okay, let me put this in my branding packaging, let's make everything harmonious. And so for once, when it came to the look and feel of her, new businesses, nothing felt disjointed. Everything felt like it actually belonged together and actually belonged to the person whose name was attached to it. Even the name Sacred, like, oh, chef's kiss. And I would say the best style essence to describe it would be, it's categorized under the ethereal essence, leaning more towards the extraterrestrial look. And so you see that reflected in the packaging of Sacred, again with the chrome silver. And at the same time, it's not like harsh and angular, just like her. It's still quite soft and, perceived as more feminine or yin if we're going by the categories in this, in the typologies of different style essences. And regard to the choice to create hair care products, I would say there is, it's been almost a year now, so I can, actually look at this with a bit more distance from when I first wrote my article about it. So when it launched, a lot of people were like, hair care. So even though I'm saying all of this about, it doesn't feel disjointed, the product choice in and of itself was quite questionable. But I believe she's made it work. There was a lot of, questioning about, well, we've never seen your hair. Are you just peddling another product and putting your name on it? What is this? What is this? What is this? Especially when she decided to, do the whole marketing through the Essence magazine. And I believe the show is very beautiful. It shows different generations of the family doing each other's hair, which is something that's really important in a lot of communities, especially the Black community. And it's a way that we bond and share stories and we connect. But people were like, I don't know if this is your hair. I see the tresses, I see the waves, I see it blowing in the wind when you're on stage. But I thought, girl, is this you? Because if you're gonna sell this to me, I still need to trust that after I buy into, your name and what it stands